The car waited, but it wasn't my mother's. It was my stepdad's, the leather cold beneath my hands when I opened the door, a chill that went deeper than the autumn air. I was 16. That day changed everything.
Turn up the heat. I asked, but he didn't answer. His silence was a heavy blanket, smothering the space between us as he drove further and further from the familiar streets.
He was 35, a quiet man, haunted by nights when the house breathed too loudly, when his thoughts coiled tight like razors. He called it bipolar depression. We learned to live around it.
But that day, the darkness wasn't a shadow. It filled the whole cabin, a suffocating presence that stole the air from my lungs and left me gasping.
We left the road, the tires crunching on leaves, a trail of broken earth leading us into the trees, to a clearing I'd never known existed. Wet pine and old rot filled the air, a scent of decay that clung to everything. The sky was a color I couldn't name, heavy and bruised, pressing down on us. He parked. The engine ticked, a metronome counting down to something I couldn't understand. The world condensed to the car. The dim dash lights, the cold leather against my thighs, the clock on the console frozen at 3:17 a time that would forever echo in my mind. He reached for something, and the word gun didn't have time to form in my throat before the latch clicked, a small, sharp sound that shattered the silence. The door wouldn't open. The locks, his hands, my hands fumbling, useless. I remember the ridiculousness of that small frustration even then. The glass made my own face into someone else's, stretched and pale, a stranger staring back at me from a nightmare. I turned. I don't know why I turned. Maybe because moving felt like choosing life. Maybe because I wanted to see what he would do if I didn't look. Then the world folded. There was a bright, wrong light from the back of his head, a copper taste rising before the sound. The shot came as a thunder that had no place in my mouth. For a long time after, the ringing was the only music I could hear. Powder hung on the air, metallic and sweet, and it blended with the wet pine until everything smelled like memory. When I finally opened my eyes, he was not a horror from a nightmare. He was ordinary and impossibly still. There was no gory tableau, only the worst thing, the absence behind his eyes, a hollowness that echoed the emptiness inside me. People say dead eyes are like living eyes until context changes them. His looked the same as before, but they were hollowed out by an answer I could not know. Tears traced slow, patient paths down his cheeks, and for a sliver of time I thought they might be his, continuing like a trick of gravity even after voice and warmth had left him. I kept crying. I kept failing to breathe right, each gasp a painful reminder of the air he would never breathe again. I found his phone, fingers clumsy and numb, and then the world became procedure's call. Wait, describe. The police came and took notes that felt like polite folding up of a world, reducing our horror to neat, emotionless sentences. My mother came and did not come at the same time. Collapse and composure braided into one shape, a whirlwind of grief and disbelief. People tell you what will happen next. The funeral, the questions, the paperwork, a blur of faces and hollow condolences, a script I was forced to memorize. No one tells you how the simplest things shift, how the world warps and bends, leaving you forever changed. The heat in a car never feels like warmth again. Leather is always a little bit cold, a constant reminder of that terrible day. There are afternoons when the sound of a passing engine stitches the place where laughter used to be, and I can't find the seam. I can never truly feel the same joy I felt before that day. A part of me forever trapped in that clearing, in that car. Sometimes, in the quiet, I think I can still hear a bright, wrong light before a distant sound, a phantom echo that refuses to fade. And every time I turn, as if looking could change what already happened, as if I could somehow rewrite the past. The past is a locked door, and the key is lost forever, leaving me to live with the echo of cold leather. Yet even in the echo, there is a faint whisper of hope, a promise of healing, a chance to find light in the darkness. For even the coldest leather can eventually soften, and even the loudest echo can fade into the silence, leaving room for a new song. And though the scars may remain, they are a reminder of how far I've come, of the strength I never knew I possessed. The echo of cold leather may always linger, but it no longer defines me. I am the song that rises above the silence.